In this week's guitar lesson, I'm going to be teaching you the correct and easiest way to play Have a Nice Day by the Stereophonics. Now, I've seen some chord charts and also some lessons on this song, and the chord progression isn't quite exactly like the Stereophonics play in their live performances. So we're going to be focusing mainly on the chorus chord progression and also the verse chord progression. So we're going to go straight in with the chorus, and that's what you actually start with in the song. So to start off with, we've got an A major chord. So I'm not going to focus too much on the strumming pattern. I'm going to stick it in the corner though. I use down, up, up, down, down. Now this follows the main vocal hook of the song, which is ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, etc, etc. We're just focusing on this chord progression for this video. So we do actually start on the A chord. And then if we play it the Stereophonics way, you're actually going to be moving your third finger up and down off this chord. So it essentially turns it from an A to an A sus2. And then after that, this is where it changes a little bit. So I'm going to stick a picture of the Stereophonics playing, and you can see that in the video, he doesn't really shift his fingers around too much. A lot of the chord charts that I've seen, they actually go into a D sus2, which sounds fine, but we have a little bit of an awkward change. And the way that the Stereophonics play it is actually easier than that. So all you really need to do is you need to remove your first finger. And what you want to do with your right hand is we want to strum from the D string downwards, roughly. And that is actually the second chord that Stereophonics play. Okay, so what happens with your third finger is your movement stays the same as what we were doing on our A chord. So it sounds like this. So now if I put those two chords together, it's going to sound like this. So that second chord, I've got it down as a D major 7th suspended 2, because we've got the root note, which is the D. We've got the 2nd fret G, that's an A, which is the 5th, and then it's this note here, so it's the C sharp. Okay, so in D, that is essentially the 7th note. But then we've also got the high E in there, okay, which is the 2nd. Okay, so that makes it the suspended 2nd. There's no 3rd in this chord. We are then going to move to a D sus2 over G. So again, this is where it's changing from a lot of other lessons and chord charts. It's going to tell you to go to a G there, which isn't right on the Stereophonics way of playing it. And again, I'm going to attach the picture in the corner now. You can see that his fingers are roughly in this position. The only thing I'd say with this one is there's a little bit of an awkward change. What we've got to do, our second and our third fingers down at the moment, we've got to move that third finger to the top of your 3rd fret low E, then the little finger is going to go onto the 3rd fret of the B. We want to try and catch that high E in as well. So this is a D sus2 over G. Okay, so this here is our G. And then we've got our D sus2 shape. So it goes like this. Down, up, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, down. So we've got one chord left in this first chord progression. This is much more simpler. So all we need to do is remove that 3rd finger, place the 1st finger down onto the 2nd fret of the low E, and that is it. So this is a D sus2 over F sharp. Okay, so really they're both D sus2 chords, but the root note has changed from G to the F sharp. Okay, so down, up, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, down. So if I put the whole of the verse chord progression together for you now, it's going to sound like this. And that is your verse chord progression. That repeats throughout all the verses in the song. I think there's about 3 or 4 of them. Hope you enjoyed this week's guitar lesson. If you did, click the like button, click the subscribe and the bell. That way you'll be notified each week when I upload a guitar lesson.